So the real question is, do you want freedom with guidance or structure with support? What's going on? It's your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor. And for today's video, we're going to answer the age-old question, do I need to join a team or should I do something a little bit different? My objective is to talk to the solo agent that is really at a place in their business where they don't know what they don't know. They're struggling. They're not making any sales at all. They're flying blind. They're solo dolo. They joined some random brokerage or some random sponsor uplines that promises to give them social media tips or strategies to get leads. And they've fallen flat a couple months or maybe even a couple years in their business. And I want that individual at this point to realize that you are not necessarily the problem. The way that you've gone about it is probably the issue. Here at Real Brokerage, any solo agent can make the decision to join a formal team. You join a team, they offer you a certain type of system, maybe a CRM system, they offer you branding of some sort. You're going to, within that brokerage, you're going to fly the flag of that team. It could be the Sally Sue team or the Marvin team or whatever the case is. Your identity is tied to that team. Now, if you decide for whatever reason that that team is no longer a good fit for you, it is going to be very, very difficult to untether yourself from that team because they have pretty much done everything for you. Think of it kind of like a franchise. If you go to Chick-fil-A or Burger King, many of those places from any part of the world, you can be in Houston, Texas or Atlanta, Georgia. The Chick-fil-A experience is going to be the Chick-fil-A experience. Very pleasant cashiers and employees. They ask you for your name. They ask you for your order. They ask you if you want Polynesian sauce. It doesn't matter what part of the United States that you're in, you're going to get that experience. So if I was a franchise owner at Chick-fil-A and I just decided one day I just wanted to start selling plant-based burgers, for example, Chick-fil-A is going to tell me, you can't do that. Yes, you're a vegan, that's fine, but you cannot do that because we have a system and we have a way that we run our business. They're closed on Sundays, which I love because they do it for religious reasons. You cannot decide because you own said Chick-fil-A franchise that you're going to be open on Sunday if Chick-fil-A says they are closed on Sunday. So that is in and of itself what a team is. That franchise owner, they have everything pretty much done for you. They may manage the day-to-day, but that team will tell you exactly what you should be doing, when you should be doing it, and how you should be doing it. So that can be an amazing situation for someone that just wants to plug and play into an already existing system. Many times when I'm talking to agents about alignment here at Real Broker and they're not in the city of Atlanta or in Georgia, I will typically suggest that they consider starting their career with a team, especially if they can do it full time. Some teams definitely don't take agents that are not doing real estate full time because those team leaders are doing real estate full time and they're going to give you systems that are expecting you to return an ROI on that team leader's benefit, but they typically don't work with part-time agents or sometime agents. So now let's talk about what a mentorship program looks like. So at my former brokerage, I was a certified mentor and I didn't get to choose who I connected with. I was randomly attached to some agent that was in my zip code or my immediate area. I introduced myself as their mentor. I had no way of seeing if we would be a really good personality fit. I just took on the agents that I was assigned to. The benefit for me as a mentor was that I got my 10% or whatever the case was. I really truly gave more effort than what that 10% was. But there were many situations where I was not a good fit for that individual, or they were not a good fit for me. They might have come in the door expecting a mentor to take them in my car on ride-alongs to go do showings with my clients. I can't even talk about how, from a privacy and a security standpoint, your brother and uncle's not getting in a car with a complete stranger to go take them on showings. That's just not my comfort level. But that was the expectation for some individuals. Or they felt like because I was their mentor, and let's say they had a client that needed to do a showing, they were at their part-time or full-time job, their expectation was because I was getting my cut, if you will, that I should schlep halfway across town to open the door for them or really be available or even be available at 12 o'clock midnight because they're ready to write an offer. Because I'm their mentor, I should make myself available to help them through the paperwork at 12 midnight. You can see the issues fundamentally with both of those types of scenarios. That was the mentor situation at my previous brokerage. So now at a place like Real, if you're an agent hearing this, you're probably saying, "Oh, shoot, Marvin, I don't want to do near one of those." That sounds like a hot mess. But I think that there's some key questions that you will want to walk through before you ultimately make the decision on which one to go with. If you need more guidance on this and you want to hop on a call, let's say you're at another brokerage other than Real, please click the link in the first pinned comment or scan this QR code right here, right now, to get on my calendar so we can walk through to see if a team structure would be a better fit for you, or a mentorship program would be the best fit for you. So, what are some of the positives of a mentorship at a place like Real Brokerage? For one, you are not forced to be connected with someone that you truly have no end goals. So think of a mentor at a place like Real Brokerage as your big brother or your big sister as a new-ish agent. That person is going to have a very specific set of skills, and that individual will help you in the area that you specifically are needing guidance with. Of course, if you're a brand new agent, you're going to need help in probably these two areas: paperwork and how to generate leads, right? So you can pick an agent here at Real Brokerage with our mentor program to meet what you need. Let's say you want to get better on YouTube. Well, there may be a mentor that, you know what, before I even continue going any further, let's just hop on my computer here and take a look at a mentor program in a random city, in a random state, and see what exactly it looks like. All right, so we're here looking at available mentors for the state of Florida. So if you wanted to know, okay, who's the closest agent that's a mentor in Duval County, for example? Well, this person here, Alice, is in Duval County, and her area of expertise is that she loves talking about building relationships, continuing education, and how to successfully work with different types of clients. Oh, and she loves sharing her buyer process. Okay, awesome. Well, if you have a goal to be a commercial agent, this person here, Anthony, does commercial real estate, how to convert online PPC and Facebook leads. So that's awesome if you want to get better at leads, working with residential buyers, online lead generating and nurturing. Okay, and this person is in Hillsborough in the Tampa area. But let's say you want to get better on how to navigate the transaction and the negotiation process. Well, Chaz here, my buddy Chaz, he can help you with managing the transaction, negotiations, expectations, management, and marketing. So whatever you feel like you need in your business, I'll put the link to our mentor program in the description of this video so you can take a look at it. I would say don't reach out to these individuals directly. Allow me to make that introduction, of course. That way I can kind of talk through my experience working with any of these individuals here. Many of them I know, I like, and I trust. So definitely book a call using the link in the description of this video, and then we will together work with connecting you with the right type of mentor. But there are a ton of mentors in the state of Florida that are there to support you if you want to remain a solo dolo agent, but just have ad hoc support as needed. I like this option because what it does as well with our mentor program is it allows you to keep your brand intact. If you are the Sally Sue real estate team and it's really just you, and you don't want to fly the banner of a random team in your area, but you know that you need support to move your business forward, working with a mentor is going to be that ground level support that I think a lot of agents, unfortunately, pride is a big thing. They're not going to ask for help, right? But I feel like in the season that we're in, you don't know what you don't know. So rather than joining a brokerage because of a specific upline and downline and what a lot of I'll just call them YouTube brokers recruiters talk through, is they're just trying to get you in. You're just a number to them, right? For me, I don't look at agents that I partner with as a number. I want you to win, but I'm also going to do my best to make sure that you're supported in a system here at an entire brokerage that gives you the benefit that your favorite random YouTuber that's a realtor is promoting with their specific group or their specific upline and downline. It goes without saying that there's a lot of that on YouTube, and way back when, I fell for that as well. And I quickly realized that the juice was not worth the the squeeze. So at a place like Real Broker, I don't have to be forced to connect to somebody that doesn't have an area of expertise that I want to get better in. I can take a look at the available mentors, what their skill sets are, and then I can align myself with a local mentor. And of course, your boy, your brother being your sponsor. And now you can personally customize the right dream team that's there to support you in your business. Hey, if you've made it this far in the video and you are a real estate professional, consider partnering with me here at Real Brokerage. You pay nothing per month, get a fantastic split, and you have the opportunity to build a business through revenue share and stock purchases. Book a call at the link below in today's video, and I'm happy to have a conversation on why I was able to grow my business exponentially by moving my practice to Real Brokerage. All right, back to the video. If we take a look at the available teams, so a team option is going to be a great scenario if you are very seasoned as a solo agent, you do real estate full time, and you do want to fly the flag of a specific group of individuals. And that's awesome. Teams have their place. There's some great teams that we have here in Real Broker. A lot of the things that I love about some of these formal teams is that they have a plug and play system. Many of these have their own internal CRM that they offer agents, daily and sometimes weekly calls that they do on a very regular basis that keep you motivated, keep you engaged as a realtor. They have their own built-in community and support. And in a lot of ways, they share expenses. So you might have, because you're part of this formal team, access to marketing, tech tools, admin. Oh, that'd be great, right? Transaction management. That's part of being with that team that you don't have to you don't have to pay for because it's covered. So I love that. So if we look at some of the teams here, the Premier Group is a great group of agents. I know many of the individuals. I know the team lead as well. I mean, there's a ton of teams here. Some of them do have minimum requirements. So for example, Daniela here with the Pangiani team, they require agents to have at least 3.5 years of experience, right? So that would be, of course, an agent that's not brand new. In this case here, Jose Mija, he's requesting a full-time agent that's committed to being in the office 4 times a week. So although we're a cloud-based brokerage here, we have several teams that when they came over from XYZ brokerage where they had a physical office, they maintain that office because there is a benefit to a brick and mortar office for some agents. Some agents that I partner with, they have to have an office to go into. And I get that. It is what it is. So many of the agents here, Jose is actually a business partner of mine. We co-sponsor several agents. His office is amazing. The support that he offers ground level with in-person training calls and everything, it's all of the benefits of working at a brick and mortar, but you're not paying that monthly fee that many of these brick and mortars require you to pay just to hang your license at their physical office, because they promise that they're going to give you access to free Wi-Fi, an office space, and access to a printer. And they don't tell you that you can get the benefits of an office by working with a title company or closing attorney in your area, because those title companies and closing attorneys are wanting to keep your business and wanting you to think about them when it's time to get clients to the closing table. So they'll be happy to let you use their office, their Wi-Fi, their printer for free 99. I don't take clients to, Starbucks and stuff like that. I just leverage the power of closing attorneys in my area that I know want to work with me. So several of these groups have specific, needs that they require for someone that's interested. This group here requires at least 3 transactions, but many of these teams, they don't have any restrictions. You can join as a part-time, as a full-time agent, but I would say reach out to these individuals before you connect with any particular mentor or team lead. I would say that it's really important to do 2 things. For one, before you even reach out to them, because they're going to sell you on them. If it's a mentor, they're going to sell you on the benefits of the team if it's a team lead. But I want you to do your own due diligence. Firstly, book a call with me. If Real is going to be a good fit for you, I would be your sponsor and I would help in the facilitation of making the connection to a team lead or a team. But before you actually introduce yourself to that team, I would say do a little bit of due diligence. Look them up on LinkedIn, look them up on social media, look the reviews for this team or mentor, look it up on Google to see what clients' experience has been like working with said team or working with said mentor. And if their clients are saying a lot of the things that you would like clients to say about you, then that means that they may be a good fit. If you look them up online and you like the way that they operate, you like the vibe you're getting from said team, well, that may be another good sign. But when you introduce yourself to them, I would say, have about 3 or 4 mentors and 3 or 4 teams that you reach out to, that you interview them, just like they're interviewing you and asking you questions about your goals and your objectives. Ask them what their goals are for you as their mentee or for you as a possible new team member. What does success look like if it's a team, for example? Who is the most successful agent on their team and how did they get there? They should be giving you the steps to reverse engineer to become what it is that their top, team lead or team agent is doing for them, right? Another good question I would ask a team is, what is my obligation if I decide to join? What do I have to remain with the team for a certain period of time? If I decide abruptly that this is not a good fit, how am I able to untether myself and what happens to my transactions, both current and future, if I decide to untether myself before minimum time or when the time comes to separate from said team? And I think those are some really key questions to make sure that you ask because you don't want to get caught with an okey doke 3 months or 4 months into it and you realize, oh my goodness, this was a bad decision. So asking those questions on the front end, I think are going to be incredibly key. As a mentor, if you're working with a mentor, some of the questions I wish mentees would ask me is, what are my expectations for them as a mentee? How frequently can they reach out to me? How frequently can I reach out to them? What times of the day? For me, for example, I believe in work-life balance. Don't call me at 9 o'clock at night. Not when there's plenty of opportunity and time to communicate that, hey, I'm doing a showing a little bit later in the evening. I may need access to you to ask you some questions. A lot of things can be addressed with proper communication beforehand. And if I was a mentor, for example, if one of my mentees hit me up earlier in the day and said, hey, I'm doing a late showing, I may need your help on this. Of course, I'm going to make sure that I'm available, but don't come into it with the expectation that because I'm your mentor, that I gotta do something for you. Because in my case, my clients, my buyer and seller clients, they are my priority. And I truly believe in a work-life balance. Another good question that I would ask a mentor is, how many agents are they currently mentoring at the present time? If I hear a number greater than like 4 or 5, that mentor may have their plate full as is, personally speaking. I would like to talk with a mentor that's at least got more than 2 agents that they're currently mentoring, but not any more than about 5 or 6, just because I would be concerned from a time management standpoint if they're really truly going to be available when I need them as a mentor, right? And then another question that I would ask is, well, what does the compensation look like? Am I paying you the same split for buyer clients? Am I paying you the same split for seller clients? Is there an expectation that we co-list if I have a listing coming or if it's my own personal deal? Those types of things. And most mentors, it's a negotiation with mentors. It may not be a negotiation with joining a formal team because everything is very formal. So they may have their own set way that they're going to do splits. Of course, it'll be a split different than the 85-15 that you get as a solo agent, but it's going to be pretty much in black and white. But with a mentor, you would negotiate how much access you need or want from them, and then you all come to a happy medium somewhere in the middle. And then ultimately with that mentor, I would also ask them, well, what are my expectations to work with you? Are we one and done here? Are you expecting to be connected to me, for 2 or 3 transactions or in perpetuity? What does that timeline look like? And if I decide, to do something different, what are the ways that we are able to sever our relationship and make sure everything is copacetic? And even once you have, taken care of your 1 or 2 transactions with a mentor, I would say, hey, if I decide in the future that I'd like to work together, as needed, or I may decide I want to pick your brain, what does that look like? Are you going to be expecting some compensation if I have just a quick question or not? I mean, a lot of mentors, at least when I was a mentor, I would spell out pretty much every scenario that could potentially happen. That way we were all pretty much on the same page. So I want you to really be thinking about this in your business, especially if you are not quite where you want to be sales wise. I think that it'd be a good idea to consider joining a formal team or having a mentor that's going to be a part of your kind of mini team. If you join a formal team, you're going to be just another agent for that formal team. It's going to be about the Sally Sue real estate team and whoever Sally Sue is. And if you decide you want to keep your brand in place and you want a lower barrier of entry as well as a less restrictive commitment, then a mentor is going to be your best bet for that. If you want to get my strategy on how I crush open houses, I think this video right here is going to be very helpful for your business. Until the next one, it's your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor. Peace.